catch me creeping through the cut. All time say I'm dangerous. Cutting game just like a Ginsu. Funk inside my evil thoughts. I'm waiting on the money drop. Catch me creeping through the cut. All time say I'm dangerous. Cutting game just like a Ginsu. Funk inside my evil thoughts. I'm waiting on the money drop. Catch me creeping through the cut. All time say I'm dangerous. Cutting game just like a Ginsu. Funk inside my evil thoughts. I'm waiting on the money drop. Running, jumping, music bumping. Catch me creeping through the cut. Fire burning from my junk, smoking now I pull it up. I won't stop, so don't confront. Too much about to be a grunt. Watch my back and off the front. You drop it off, I pick it up. Catch me creeping through the cut. All time say I'm dangerous. Cutting game just like a Ginsu. Funk inside my evil thoughts. I'm waiting on the money drop. Catch me creeping through the cut. All time say I'm dangerous. Cutting game just like a Ginsu. Funk inside my evil thoughts. I'm waiting on the money drop. Running, jumping, music bumping. Catch me creeping through the cut. Busters tryna stop
Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Prosecutor said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us.
Hey, there we go, guys. We are live. This is the War Boys studio post-Vindication show with the Seditious 5. I'm Joe Biggs, one of your hosts. We've got Enrique Tarrio, Ethan Nordine, Zachary Rill, and Dominic Pizzola. And we're going to be laying down what's happened, how we got here, and where we're going. So stay tuned. It's going to be a great show. I know a lot of people out there are going to be watching, media, people like that, really curious. A lot of people upset, heads exploding over the fact that the truth has come out. We said since day one that we were innocent of these bogus charges and this seditious conspiracy, really a conspiracy against us in America, a failed coup to take over America by the Democrats, and we have been vindicated. We are free. We are home. We're doing the things that we love. So, you know what? Special shout out there to Judge Kelly. Thank you for doing the right thing. And also go fuck yourself. Everybody, let's see. Let's talk.
Bring it on.
Hell yeah.
Hey, if there was a scale for the amount of death threats that I get per event that happens, whether it's getting pardoned or not, this shit that happened on Friday has increased it tenfold. And look, I never take them seriously, so it is fucking delicious to fucking sit here and watch their heads explode.
Can you imagine being so fucking miserable with your life that like you sit there and you're like, man, these guys got off. They're free now. I want them dead. Like can you imagine being that miserable? I've got so many death threats myself.
Zach, could you imagine being this retard that is still sending us postcards for like 6 fucking years now?
That fucking guy, dude. He's still at it.
I don't even fucking read them no more. I just pull them up and throw them in the trash. Like, fuck that, dude.
Dude, every postcard I've gotten for like the past 4 or 5 months, they've all talked about killing President Trump, dude. And the FBI won't do shit. It's crazy, man.
Well, I don't get any death threats.
Insanity.
I don't get any death threats. I'm up here in space. I got away from all the libtards, so I'm out here floating around doing my own thing.
That guy's
Joe's the smartest one here.
Reno, full screen me a second.
I hope that dude is watching. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. That's the font. He's got a special font. I can always tell when I see the letters that it's him.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
Hey, if you're watching this and you got a drink in your hand, let's do a cheers right here to
oh shit! I didn't bring a drink.
Freedom. What, dude? This is the what? What are you in? AA?
I know. I don't know what I was thinking.
Ethan, are you fucking kidding me, bro?
Dude, you're the last person that I would expect to not have a drink.
I know. I haven't been drinking it all lately. I don't have any beer or anything here.
Yeah,
we gotta do something about that.
Cheers.
The one and only time you'll see me tonight, boys. Cheers. Congratulations.
To victory. So let's kick this thing off. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call on each one of you, so we won't be talking over each other. And the question is, I'm gonna lay it out simple. How did we get here? And I'll start. And one person out of the 5 that we really got to hand it to, that got us here, that really kicked things off, that got the DOJ to fucking bend over backwards and start this process of putting in a motion to dismiss and vacate not only our charges. This is really important. They didn't just vacate our charges; they vacated the entire grand jury. I was talking to Gavin yesterday, and we came up with a way for people to understand. So when you sneeze and you say "pardon me," right? Somebody says yes, so they physically pardoned you, but the act of sneezing still happened. In this case, right? That's what a pardon or a commutation is, right? But in this case, the sneeze never even happened. The grand jury that was impaneled, that's gone. That doesn't.
Yeah, we went back in time, and we changed and split the what is it they do in the Marvel movies when they split the timelines?
The timeline. We shifted the fucking timeline. So I want to go to Zach, and I want you to explain to our viewers right now how. I guess the legal process from the commutations all the way to right now.
Well, I got one question though to throw out there for anybody that knows. How often does that happen now to get not only the conviction vacated, but then the indictment, the grand jury, all that? What's the probability of that happening to people? And is this a really rare thing? And
let's have some viewers look that up and put it in the comments.
Yeah, if you guys can look that up, just fucking grok it or something. But let's go to Zach. Zach, how did we get from the point that we got released from prison, from solitary confinement? You guys did more time than I did. I did 3 years. You guys did 4. So tell me how we got from release to where we are today.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that. Well, realistically, from the time of the trial, when I was just sitting next to you when we're going through this bogus trial, I would sit there and I was just like, "This shit's so fucked up. This shit's so fucked up. This is illegal. What they're doing here is illegal. What they're doing, whatever." And I was just, it drove me nuts. It made me bonkers. I was like, the corruption in this trial is just obscene, and it's funny. Before I decided to go pro se, I was talking with Ethan, I was talking with Joe, I was talking to Dom, and I kind of talked to you a little bit, and I was just like, I'm fucking terrified to go fucking pro se, but I was like, I know this is the route we have to go. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna file these motions. I'm gonna call out the corruption or whatever, and I was like, it's either going to force them to either give us a new trial or fucking dismiss the case. And Jeremy Bertino is probably the best thing that ever happened. A lot of people hate him because he testified against us, and but I get that too. I mean, he testified against me too. So I mean, I feel some type of way, but at the same time, if it wasn't for if he didn't come around and give us that additional firepower, we wouldn't have been able to actually really nail their dicks to the wall in a sense. You know what I mean? And that was fucking awesome. There's one reason why Judge Kelly did not oppose this motion to dismiss the indictment, and it's because he saw firsthand. Number one, he saw firsthand the corruption of the trial himself. And number 2, the motions I was filing about Jeremy Bertino and with the things that Jeremy Bertino said on his sworn affidavit and his video, what is it? The video deposition. That's what it was. Yeah, video deposition. He basically said that Jocelyn Ballantine fucking lied, and it was fucking 15 meetings, and they only told us about 3, and yada yada yada. There was so much illegal shit that went on with our trial that there was no way the government or the judges could. They couldn't ignore it. There's only one thing they could do, and that was dismiss the case and just get it out of the way.
So you filed motions on your own, correct?
Yes.
There was no
Yes.
attorney involved.
No attorney involved.
Are
No,
you a
absolutely
lawyer?
not. I'm not a lawyer. No, I am working on my third degree, so I'm not a dumbass. I'm not a dumb fucking guy or anything. But like, but at the same time, it's. I did use Grok though. Let's not
For the first time in
not
history, Grok. We
Grok.
wrote an article
Yeah,
about that. Grok, for the
yeah.
first time in history, beats
Hmm.
the federal fucking
Government.
system and
Oh,
puts
well,
it
I
in
never
Yeah.
even thought
Italy.
about
He's
that. That's
better.
pretty intense.
So
Yeah,
I
So
want to go.
Grok helped us beat the government. That's awesome.
Yeah, no,
Elon
it
Musk
did.
helped us
Elon
win.
I'm
Musk.
su-
Yeah.
I'm surprised Elon Musk isn't sharing this shit. This is the biggest fucking case in the last like 20 fucking years, and Grok helped beat the United States fucking government.
Correct.
Where's fucking
Well, it's
Elon Musk? Why
also
is he not
well, it's
sharing this?
also it was the
That's a
longest
huge
trial in
win,
American
man. That's
history.
a huge
The longest
win.
trial,
That's
the longest jury selection to take.
Mhm.
Expensive.
We and the most expensive trial, also
in
the
history.
most discovery ever in a trial. So our trial was the biggest thing in the world, and yet it's a media blackout. No one talks about this shit. When I was getting convicted, I'm looking at local papers here, the fucking Daytona Beach News Journal, and everybody here in Florida writing papers. But as soon as I get vindicated, it's like crickets. They're talking about the girl who got her arm bitten off by an alligator. Come on, man.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and you know what's great about
Go ahead,
this
Ethan.
too is like because of the issue with all the pardons, the commutations of other cases. What does this mean for all the other cases that can piggyback off of ours now? Because a lot of people shared the same judges that we have, and even the lawyers. So, our discovery, like Big said, is we have the most discovery out of any case in history, and particularly our case because we had the tools theory and all those other things attached to our conspiracy, so we had access to everybody involved. Now, just the 5% or maybe even less that we had access to in the amount of time that we had access to, we found all sorts, like Zach was saying, just littered with lies, with all sorts of stuff that they were trying to keep sealed, keep from the public. And that discovery is still out there. I mean, there's so much still to go through this and the lawsuits to follow it. I mean, we're going to cram this so far up their ass that they're not going to be able to budge. And hopefully some people start picking this up. Anybody who's listening, news outlets, whatever. This is going to be huge. How the government's going to try and configure out how they're going to figure out how to pay these people out, how to properly, let the government or the public know what their hand was in all of this and how they're going to fix it. And I think that's kind of what they're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and to add on to that real quick,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
like
Zach.
there's a fact that like all the media, all the media lies that they've been pushing this narrative. Like I like to point out the fact that they keep calling us insurrectionists and stuff like that. The media has pushed this for 5 years. Like our lives are tarnished forever because of that false narrative, and not one person out of 1,600 people were even charged with insurrection. So not only are we now like we have all of our charges that we did have wiped out, now we have a real argument to sue the media, and I can't wait till we can sue the media. Yeah, like he said, like anybody listening, we want to sue the media, and we want to sue them to the freaking whatever.
Yeah, buckle up,
Oh,
everybody.
wait. Okay.
Buckle up.
So
Buckle up,
I
buckle
want
up.
to
That's the word. Yep.
touch on this really quick. I went to Zach for this. So I want to touch on, there's 5 of us on the screen and Reno's in the production room. I want to talk about the biggest brass balls that we have in studio right now. And probably, some, I'd say in the J6 community, because the most defiant person, I think, in the J6 community, his name's Dominic Pizzola. And let me tell you a little bit about Dom. When we all got arrested, right? Dom had gotten arrested on a separate indictment. I think, Dom, I met you once in November. Briefly, we took a picture together. And then after that, you joined the Proud Boys about a week and a half before December 12th rally, right before you joined a month before January 6th. And you get arrested, and they throw you in a superseding indictment with the leadership of the Proud Boys together. And really, like, if it was any other person, I think you would have threw your hands in the air and been like, hey, I'm just going to point fingers at these guys and I am just going to fucking throw them under the bus to save my ass. Your wife's with you. You could have been with her much earlier if you would have turned on us. You would have been home probably in the first year and change if you would have turned on them. And there's precedent to that, Jeremy Bertino and Charles Donahoe. But not only did you stick by us, in trial, you were the most defiant. You took the stand. You sat in front of the jury and the judge that this is a fucking kangaroo court. You got sentenced to a fucking decade, and you threw your hands in the air. And I'll start with this question and I'll let you speak now. What is it that you walked after you got that fucking decade in prison? What is it that you said?
Well, let me just first say that, our prosecutor kind of seems to drink his water like this. So I wasn't.
Oh shit.
But yeah, I mean, I looked at the prosecutors after they sentenced me to that shit, and I was like, Trump won, you all know it. As they were escorting me out of the freaking, out of the courtroom back into the holding cell.
Why didn't you throw us under the bus and go home to your wife and your family and your kids? You didn't know us.
Ultimately, man, you gotta ask yourself, can I look at myself in the mirror the rest of my life and know that I did the right thing, And there's just no way that I was gonna help them when we were all there for a reason. We were all there because we know this government's corrupt, and I'm not gonna help this corrupt ass government send you guys to prison for for a bunch of bullshit that we all know that never happened. I don't know, Enrique. It's just
go ahead.
And
you answered my question, but you didn't know, and for that's why I grant you probably the biggest brass balls in the J6 community for standing up for people you didn't really fucking know. You didn't really fucking know us.
I'll forever respect you for that, Dom.
Yeah, and
Forever.
there's two avenues there, right?
Basically.
It's integrity and it's loyalty, right? Integrity to yourself to know that you didn't do anything wrong, right? And integrity to guys.
You guys don't know.
Go ahead.
They wanted me to go along with some fucking story that Biggs had a gun there that day, man. You know what I mean? They sent another inmate into the DC jail with that story. They wanted me to go along with it, and I made them think that I was going to go along with it for a little bit, so they moved me to a better place because they sent me to Lewisburg. You guys don't know how good Lewisburg was.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the best.
Shit. You get good food.
God, that Saturday breakfast.
Yeah, man.
Even though it was a USP.
They sent me there, and then
that chicken we had. Chicken we had on Juneteenth.
I think I gained like 10 pounds in the week.
And then once I got to Lewisburg, they asked me if I was gonna cooperate. I told them to go fuck themselves. I said, nope, I'm not gonna help you send innocent men to prison. Even the day before trial, I was offered a plea deal, and I told them, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm either gonna go down with the ship or we're gonna win this thing. So.
And to anybody who's listening, just to add to the point that we didn't know Dom, when I got locked up and I found out who Dom was and like how they were trying to tie him to us and stuff, and you got the picture of him with the riot shield and it's all over the place. I hired a PI to investigate Dom because I thought he was a plan. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? So that's a real thing. That really happened.
That's funny.
That's some real nigga shit.
Oh man, I remember the first day I met you, Dom. It was we were in the holding cell. Like all five of us were together. I was like, that's our co-defendant. No, that's great. I've never met this guy. What's up, bro? How you doing?
First time you guys met me, we were in the holding cell. I almost got in a fight with that retard from DC that was fucking pissed off because I was talking shit about DC. Remember?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm going to tell you guys,
down, man.
probably the most happiest moment.
Remember the noise that you hear in DC jail all the time? Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
Hey, Mo.
Hey, guys. So the happiest moment that I had, right? I was separated from you guys because I got arrested later on.
Well, you
I think
didn't
one of
go.
the happiest moments for me, at least, when while being incarcerated, was when we were about to start trial. You know, I was alone. I was alone for close to a year, and they transferred me in, and I'll never forget this. I was sitting in the catacombs in D.C., and we had court that day, and it was the first time I saw you guys in over 2 years. I hadn't seen you guys in 2 years. Actually, more than 2 years at that point. And I remember just sticking my hand out because I heard you guys, and you were around the corner. I couldn't peek around the corner, and I moved my hand back and forth. And it was our first preliminary hearing. It was actually on December, I believe, like 9th of 2022. Again, almost 2 years. And like, I was happy. I finally got to see you guys. I finally got to see my co-defendants. And I knew all of us were trial ready. By that time, I already knew who was real and who was fake. And something that I'm going to say is, and I always say this, typically when the feds pick you up and you're in like some type of drug conspiracy or some type of other conspiracy, and you have 4 other co-defendants, you know how many of those are going to turn on you? The number's 4. No matter how close somebody is to you, they'll always turn on you. And it's a testament to the fact of how great and amazing our organization is that we sat there through thick and thin, knowing that we might get multi-decade sentence. Like 22, we thought sometimes that we were going to get 50 years or more for this alleged fucking fake crime. And then I'm going to go now to the 2 gentlemen that are on my right. I believe for the viewers, I think it's on the right. These 2 guys were the closest guys to me since I started, since I joined the Proud Boys. We would go together. We'd go to places together. We'd hold events together. We bled together. We sweated together. We cried together at some points. I'm not going to talk about that, so we won't sound like a bunch of pussies here. But I'll start with Ethan, and I know this is going to be an ego boost for Ethan, and an ego deflation for me as the leader on the ground that day. As the leader on the ground that day, when I wasn't there, and it's not because there's like some type of hierarchy between us or anything like that inside the Proud Boys, but when I wasn't there, kind of like putting the maps together and shit like that, Ethan picked up where I left off. And Ethan, tell me a little bit about the experience, like from that day till now.
I've told this story a lot, but it's really hard to convey to people, whether you like us or not, the outcome of what we went through and where we're at now, versus the anticipation we had on that day. And I think everybody on the ground that day understood that there was something off. The energy, we've described it as it felt dark. It felt like a trap, and even before that, that was the conversation. But I mean, really, when you were there on the ground, you could really feel the energy was just off. But in no reality at all did I ever imagine, even at the worst case scenario, like, I went in there and broke a bunch of windows and I busted down doors. And even if I put my hands on somebody, there was no reality in which I would have anticipated what happened to us to happen. From the raids at 4 a.m, guns blazing, coming in freaking with multiple agencies, holding our families at gunpoint, lugging us off in the middle of COVID, keeping us locked down in solitary confinement, over a year of that. Getting our bond revoked and all of these tactics, how they went after Zach and his family and how they went after you guys' benefits, and they just totally tried to screw you every which way imaginable. I mean, this was on a group level and on an individual level, so extreme to the degree they took against us and the resources that they used. So it's really hard to convey in one conversation the depth of this whole situation and what it means now coming out of that, how hard they really pressed us, how hard they, how much effort they put in to just bury us and bury this whole narrative, or all the facts and all the discovery. And where we're at now is, it's nothing short of a miracle, to be honest.
It wasn't. So I will say it's a miracle. It's a miracle by God, and that's who we have to thank for this. But
Christ is king.
to get to today took a lot of hard work, right? A lot of effort, a lot of advocacy and calls and phone numbers and tweets and emails and
Fucking
documents, lawyers, cash. In Zach's
Frickin'
case,
lawyers.
we don't say lawyers. We say a $50 subscription to Grok Plus. Go ahead and subscribe to Grok Plus.
Yeah. Zach and Grok are my two favorite lawyers, dude. Like, you guys are fine for everything. I'm using you for the rest of my life.
And to shift
Found your
gears,
calling.
to shift gears to Biggs here, me and Biggs, like I said, we've been through a lot together. We've planned stuff together.
But we did not plan January 6th.
But we did not plan. Well, we did. We did plan January 6th, but we
planned to go, but it wasn't what they said.
Party.
Yeah.
Biggs has always been like one of the best assets when it comes to putting things together and keeping events safe. I'd say Biggs saved my life one time in DC, or at least saved me from losing an eyeball in DC when we were being followed by Antifa and attacked.
That's saving your life.
And I was eating shit on my phone, and Biggs went ahead and those were great times. So Biggs, we'll go through how we got here, but in your specific case, like I
got a lot of stuff. I got
amazing.
notes right here. Yeah.
So
and think about this, each and every one of us. Think about, like you said, the name of the show is How We Got Here, but let's really think about how we got here individually. I almost died in car wrecks. I have been in combat, and God has pulled me through all this stuff to get to these points. Like, I feel like God has something in store for us, something good. And, each one of us individually, not only did we overcome this, but God has helped us overcome so many other things in our life to get to this point. And we're stupid if we don't use these experiences, these testimonies that we have to help people out, and to really bring people to God as well. Tell our story, talk about the hard times, talk about breaking down, in a place where I was miserable and I hated everything in my life. God found me and saved me. And I laid flat on the floor and prayed every day, and God got me through it. And I asked God one day, I said, show me you're here with me, and there was this day that I was asking the CO, I was like, man, do we ever get anything besides, bologna sandwiches or rotten apples? I was like, what about peaches or something like that? And everybody, like, they have that bean flap, on your door, it's down, and my voice is echoing. So the other inmates, it's feeding time. They can all hear what I said, and everyone starts laughing like, peaches. CO's like, I've been here for 20 years. We've never served peaches before. The very next day, he walks over, brings me my tray, opens the thing, and slides it, and there's peaches on it. And everybody starts going, oh my God, peaches, as they're getting them. And it brought a lot of people to God. A lot of people understood that God is real at that point in time. Inmates who never would have, thought about that or anything like that, they came to God that day. And we started doing Bible studies and things like that. And I was in solitary for a long time. I found peace. I found joy. I found happiness in a 5x5 concrete, room, and I was able to wake up every day with purpose and find motivation, and fight my way through what I went through. And God got us through this other thing, and people need to understand that God is real, so that's what I want to start off with. My question earlier is, out of all these federal cases in America that have been vacated or wiped clean completely, it's less than 1%. We just got the stats on that, and less than 1% of these of trials have ever had that happen. So that's another miracle by God. Tomorrow I will be speaking with Secretary Doug Collins at the VA. Maybe not personally on that day, but to his secretary, the secretary's secretary. And they've already been calling me since I've been home, and saying that they're watching, that they want to help. And they're going to help us get our rights restored, Zach. And we're going to get that back, and we're going to be made whole. And what we're going to do is lay a path forward to that victory. So when the Oath Keepers are vindicated as well, which they should be, and Meta better do the right thing, then we can have that path laid forward for them. And that's something they deserve. Kelly Megg, Stuart Rhodes, all these guys. I can't remember everybody's name. Everybody goes, why don't you talk about all these other people? Well, I didn't go to January 6th with all these people. I went with my family, my brothers. You guys are right here on screen with me. The other ones, in our chapters, clubs, know who we are. I didn't go as any of these other people. So, I speak on this for us, for our fight, for what we're doing. Yes, so I want the best for other people out there, because I want people to succeed when they're, being held down by a corrupt government and screwed over by the so-called justice system. Yeah. But my heart and my goal and desire is to help, my brothers here in this club. And that's what I care about. What I want to know, or for the people out there watching, if you have any information on this, is what are the steps for us to get our rights back? The ability to vote, the ability to purchase our guns, the ability to begin to start suing places like Wikipedia for slander. They still have us on there as seditious conspirators, insurrectionists, and things like that. We need people out there with information on this to help us out. What happened to us isn't something that can just happen to us. It's something that can happen to you, and it will happen to people in the future. I find it boggling that the left, that Antifa, these far leftists who hate the government, instead of supporting people that they say stood up against a corrupt government, fight for them and bend over backwards for these clowns. The justice system's corrupt, and it needs to be exposed. And it is our duty now, as the five of us that have been thrown through this, and then when the Oath Keepers get vindicated as well, we all need to band together. We need to hold this government accountable for what they've done. Because if we don't, and we normalize it, and we allow it to continue without raising hell, without suing them for every fucking penny that they have, without destroying the media empire, the legacy media, and bankrupting them and making them broke, I want to see every single media head out there broke, on the side of the road, homeless, crying, begging for money. And it's not because I'm an evil person, but it's because you guys are just giant pieces of crap. You've done nothing but lie, slanders, destroy good men, our families, our legacies, and all because you were paid and told to do it. Well, guess what? Pucker the fuck up and lawyer up. We're coming for you. We're going to sue the shit out of you, and you're going to make me rich enough to have a house in Malibu. I'm going to have one in Montana. I'm going to have one in the fucking International Space Station where I'm at right now. I'm going to get every kind of car I've ever wanted, and I'm going to have fuck Judge Kelly on the license plate, and I'm going to live my life, and I'm going to be happy. And every time you see me, you're going to see someone who stood up to the government and fucking won. So guess what? God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. God bless the Proud Boys. And to all the haters out there, suck it.
That was good, Joe.
That was a hell of a speech. I love it. Cheers, brother.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
What do I do?
Here's my.
Oh yeah, and I'm going to be running for office. So in 2 years at the next election, we'll get more into that. Having a meeting with people, donors, and stuff like that tomorrow. So I want to encourage each and every one of you out there who was, in the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, J6ers, people who've actually been screwed over by the government, understand what it's like to be held down like that with a boot over your head. If you've ever had an indictment that says your name versus the United States, or the United States versus your name, and you know what it's like to get screwed over, it's your job to run for office and to expose that. And we also, each and every single one of us, sorry to go on another tangent, but have all been to prison. And what do we meet in prison? A lot of men that we know are innocent. So it's our job now, as vindicated men and women of this atrocity that happened on January 6th, is to stand up for the rights of these men and women who are incarcerated illegally and shouldn't be there. We know, we've seen their paperwork, we've seen the black and white, and there's a lot of guys, each one of us I know have met, I've heard stories, and we need to help these guys get home to their families, and they need to see justice as well. This isn't the ending, it's just the beginning, and we're going to keep fighting for everybody out there. So let's go, gear up.
Yeah. You know,
So,
just real quick, I just want to like bring back to everybody, like, does anybody really remember what it was like in 2016 for just an average soccer mom who came out to be pro-Trump, and the attacks that they would get? Your kid can't go to school here, or even people got CPS called on their kids. You know, you didn't have to be a Proud Boy back in the day to go through this scrutiny to get dropped from your banks, you know, deplatformed on social media, have your business, you know, be revoked, or boycotted. And it to be where we're at now, it would be so amazing if this, you know, aside from politics and everything else, and, you know, and Trump, and if we could get behind this as a victory, like as a unifying factor, be like, okay, you know, maybe we still have a little bit of control here. You know, we could get together and start these class actions against the banks, and like Joe was saying, just start taking these corporations down that have gotten us here in the first place. It's a combination of so many different things that led to the point where we were convicted, to convince people on the jury and everybody else in government to go after us hard. It was the news outlets in Portland. It was the newspapers in Seattle. It was, you know, the social media flaring up and talking crap about how we were racist Nazis and all doing all this crazy shit, you know, that led to this narrative, you know, in January 6th, that was so easy for these people to just be like, yeah, let's throw these people in prison and lock and throw away the key. So it's a combination of a lot of little things throughout a 4-year period of time that led to us being so easily put in prison and nobody even really batting an eye. So it starts with, go ahead.
Yeah, and like to back up your point, like a lot of people ask me like about the jury and everything like that we had, and like you guys noticed that there was like a 5 or 6 person coalition on the jury. There was like 5 or 6 white liberals. They were all like, they hung out together. There was like a whole hearing about the fact that these people hung out afterwards. They would go to, you know, to the art museum afterwards after trial and stuff like that. But we had there was 2 black guys on the jury pool, and people are always like, oh well, why didn't they? They're like, you know, why didn't they? You know, rule in your favor. And I'm like, well, if you know communists like these people were, they probably harped on these people. Like, can you imagine being in a jury room with these people? They're probably like, oh, hey, you know, I don't know, I think I don't think the government really proved their case, and then you have these white liberal people who were like, probably, you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi, you support Nazis, these guys are pieces of shit, but they're vile, you know, blah 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 blah, and that's the kind of narrative they do. Like they just spew nonsense, and people are afraid to like fight back against it because they don't know. Like, they don't know that we're not Nazis, you know, but like, because there's all these people saying we are, you know, they're sort of just like, oh, okay, well, maybe they are. Like, I don't want to fight them. I don't know these people, so I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that's the case.
You know, that was a big piece of it that we really haven't dove into too much or been able to investigate, is the January 6th committee. You know, and they've been given whatever freedoms and
carte blanche to do whatever.
Yeah, and that, you know, that they basically came and told the whole world that we were guilty before anything even proceeded. Before
Day one, they talked in their stupid trial. They said they talked about President Trump and me, and they put like a weight of that on me. And my lawyer's calling me. My phone's, you know, I'm getting calls at the prison, you know, and like, you're right, like, we got to hold those people accountable. Raskin, like, look at the balls on Raskin, the shriveled little tiny hat balls on that fucking fool that comes in here constantly trying to like go after us, man. These people need to be held accountable, and I agree with you. Sorry to interrupt, right. Ethan. I just wanted to jump in on that.
Okay, so we've had this conversation that you guys, the listeners, are listening to. We've had this conversation. All 5 of us, we We talk to each other all the time. So nothing that we're saying to each other is new. So why are we doing this? And it's really for you guys. And I think my message to you guys is what are you afraid of? Courage is contagious. And all four of the guys that are joining me here have shown levels of courage that hasn't been seen and hasn't been tested in ages, and it's only tested now in modern days on a battlefield. So my rhetorical question to you is, what are you willing to give up to make the changes that you want to see in the world? Because in order to make those changes, you got to get something that you love and cherish and adore, and you have to give it up. In the case of Biggs, he gave up, not just everybody here gave up their liberty, their freedom for decades of prison, but Biggs lost a daughter, right? You during those times, you lose your daughter, you lose your family.
Only to come home and have my ex-wife, and I haven't told this publicly, but kidnap my daughter from school and run off with her. And we've been trying to locate them since Christmas. And I'm drowning in lawyers' money, fees, trying to fight to get my kid back and found and things like that. So,
and to continue down that row, he lost being a veteran. This guy's a fucking war hero. They take everything from him, and it's like, how many years did you serve, Biggs?
Right at 10.
Okay. They took 10 years of his life, and it didn't exist anymore. With Zach couldn't see his daughter be born. He didn't see, correct me if I'm wrong here, Zach, you couldn't see the graduation of your other daughter during that time. You also lost your veteran benefits. How much time did you serve?
Yeah, I served 4 years, and they not only did they strip me of my benefits, they took any benefits they paid me, and they sued my wife for anything they paid me from January 6th on. So yeah, like they literally like raped me up the ass.
Yeah,
without leave.
they came from my mom. They came to my mom. The VA did. The IRS. The VA through the IRS. Forced my mom for $41,000 that she had to pay. To keep me above board. So when I got home, I wasn't fighting that as well, and that came out of the house that I lost because of all this. So I lost my daughter, my house, all that.
Zach.
Yeah, and no, let me add because this is actually really fucking interesting. This shows how corrupt the federal government is. I like they basically from January 6th until the day they cut me off, it was like something like $60,000, maybe $70,000 that I was paid in veterans benefits. But they sued my wife from the IRS and everything, and the Treasury or whatever. It was like $93,000 and like change. And I never knew where that number came from. I was like, where did this extra like $20,000-$30,000 come from? And I never knew until I got my my pre-sentence report. I didn't get my pre-sentence report until I got out of prison. I'm reading my pre-sentence report, and I'm actually reading that they appraised my house. They came to my house. They appraised my house. They actually did like a whole thing on that, and I was like, wow, the equity in my house is $93,000, $254 or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was like, that's exactly what the number is that they sued my wife for. I was like,
so
it's insanity.
Zach went ahead and lost his veteran benefits. He couldn't see his daughter be born. You shift over to Dom, his wife, which is with him right next to him right now and sat next to him through this whole process, lost her, lost his veteran benefits. How long did you serve, Tom?
I served 6 years, but I didn't lose any benefits. I didn't get
Okay.
convicted of the conspiracy. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But he was sentenced to over a decade. Lost a lot of work. Is still losing work right now. Ethan, same thing. Had a flourishing business. Beautiful family. Has a daughter. Gone. Recently had a beautiful baby boy, which I had the pleasure of being one of the first ones to meet him. But
Proud of your boy.
Proud of your boy.
and all of you lost everything, and you gave everything for a group of men that you really didn't know, for a purpose that was righteous, for a crime that you didn't commit, and for your country. You sacrifice more than most people have to. You sacrifice more in 4 years than most people have to sacrifice their entire life, and then some.
There's guys out there that like in combat, you have like you can have one intense day that can just be one of those epic things. But we had to go through going over 5 years now, 5.5 years. I mean, if you think about it, since this nightmare started, actually 6 years, the post going to prison and all, or pre-prison and then post, we're looking at 6 years now. It's been 6 years of day in and day out, nonstop stress, hell, not knowing what the future is going to hold, not knowing what's going to happen, every day getting a call and having the anxiety when you hear that it's going to be your lawyer when you're in prison, how bad the news is going to be that time because you knew it was never going to be good. Compounded with what's happening back home, not knowing what's happening back home, the unexpected and everything, the stress that we had to go through. I feel like I should look like a diamond because I've been just compressed so much, and then not only that, we were treated like mushrooms. We're thrown in the dark and fed shit nonstop. We never were given the ability to prepare for our trial. 6 years into this, and I've still never seen my discovery. I don't even know half the things that they say that they had on me, which they didn't have. It didn't exist. But I never even got to prepare for my own trial. Dominic and I tried to do it side by side, in the courthouse, and we tried to make sense of this. And every time we saw videos, we saw stuff that exonerated us. And yet Judge Kelly's pathetic, bald-headed, dick-looking ass never let any of that stuff in. Yes, Judge Kelly, I said this before, I hope that when people see you, I hope when your kids grow up that they're shamed and spit on in public because you're such a horrible human being. You're trash. You're garbage. You should be fucking impeached. You should have no position ever in any court to hold over people, to throw them in prison. You are a liar and a scumbag. And I hope that you go to hell for the rest of your life. But aside from that, the fact the 5 of us stuck through this and had each other's back no matter what is a testament to our brotherhood. And it should be inspiring to people. And we have a documentary coming out soon, which is going to be awesome. I'm sure Enrique will go into that at some point. And I've seen it, and it's fucking amazing. Gave me goosebumps. But we didn't deserve what we went through. But God chooses his strongest soldiers when battles are needed to be fought. And we had to go through hell to get to this point. We had to go through hell to expose the government. We had to get on our hands and knees and crawl under the concertina wires. Bullets are fucking whizzing over our heads. We had to eat the shit day in and day out and live in these single, 5x5 cells covered in black mold with cockroaches crawling around, literally and, figuratively. We had to sit in conditions that were meant for people who are serial killers and mass murderers. We had the Lockerbie bomber, the Libyan who had blown up the plane over Lockerbie, Scotland, Pan Am flight, was there with us, and the cops kept him back from us because they said that we were more of a danger. We had MS-13 hitman, ISIS fighters, serial killers, rapists, pedophiles beside us. And that's where they kept us. Just men who loved their country, men who had nothing but a love for the red, white, and blue. People who fought and have bled for this country. Maybe not all of us in wars, but we've done it against Antifa and other people who mean to destroy this country and dismantle it and rip apart the fabric of this nation that our forefathers put together. I'm not one to toot my own horn, but we are fucking heroes at the end of the day for this. You know, we did something that many people out there could never do, and we overcame it. And God did that for us, and we should be able to walk up and down the streets with our head held high. Zach, I fucking love you. Dominic, I fucking love you. Ethan, Enrique, you guys are my best friends, and we are going to be friends for the rest of our lives. And hopefully, we'll get to have meets every year or so with the 5 of us and get together from here on out and sit down, drink a beer
on a
rocking chair, and we're going to be grumpy old men who scream, "Get off my fucking lawn!" together until the days we die. You know,
in mansions.
In mansions. But I just want to say this: each one of you men inspire me. You make me want to be a better person, and you hold me accountable. So thank you.
Hooroo. Proud of your boy, man.
Hooroo.
Thank you, Joe. That means a lot, man. Love you, brother.
So to tell you guys, to the viewers out there, every single person on this panel lost everything, right? One thing we didn't lose was our faith. We might have lost material things along the way. But what are you guys willing to give up to make those changes? Because I'm going to tell you, Ethan mentioned
coming for you next.
And you go back to 2016 in this different world. And almost when we got out of prison, it felt like we walked into a new dimension, like another timeline where the culture had drastically changed in our favor. Not just because of the pardons, just the world was different. You know, Elon Musk went right wing. He bought Twitter. I still call it Twitter.
I call it Twitter too. Don't worry. And it's funny you mention that. Like I remember when one of my friends, you actually know him. It was one of the Proud Boys that was in my chapter. He emailed me when I was in prison. He was just like, "Oh, your boy Elon is buying Twitter." I was like, "That's going to change the fucking election." I was like, "I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to swing the election in Trump's favor." And sure enough, it did. He was all about free speech and this and that. Like I did a lot of projects on Elon Musk when I was in college and stuff like that. And like I knew how he was with the whole free speech and blah blah blah. You know, that kind of stuff. So like it was really exciting for me when I heard he was buying Twitter when I was in prison. I was like, Trump's gonna win.
AI had just come out, and I was like, oh, this is just a really smart autocorrect. You know?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, if you see this Elon Musk, hey, can you unban me from X for the 30th million time, please?
Oh yeah, that's right. Unban Biggs.
Poor fucking Joe. Poor fucking Joe gets banned every like.
I'm gonna tell you guys. Like I said, everybody here lost something, and I'm not saying like force something to lose, but the people that you see around that you call influencers and stuff like that, those people don't change the world. The people who change the world is the people that leave the comfort of their screens and leave the comfort of arranging pixels and change the world by going outside and making those changes. And one thing is for certain, I don't care how history writes about us. I don't give a fuck if the future is uber liberal or not. One thing that's for certain is that the 5 gentlemen that are sitting here right now, history will remember us forever because of the changes that we did, the sacrifices that we made, and everything that we were put through. And some of you guys that are listening right now also are part of the people to thank for us being here. You guys fighting for us nonstop. You guys also made that change in the world. So I'm gonna go into our next our next segment, and it's what's next. What comes after this? What comes after going through the most expensive trial in U.S. history, going through the longest trial in U.S. history, going through straight solitary with the Lockerbie bomber? We were at a higher level of security than the Lockerbie bomber that brought down a whole fucking plane.
The U.S. Marshals said that they did more rotations on our trial than they've ever done for a trial before.
Correct.
We had marshals coming in from Puerto Rico, from other countries, and we were there so long that we started seeing marshals again. Like they just kept rotating them because they could only be there so long. That's how long your trial is. When
Oh,
we damn near met the entire U.S. We damn near met the entire U.S. Marshals Service.
And we ran them into the
It was the most
ground.
expensive
We were
to
rugged.
convict.
You guys remember at the tail end of our trial how they were like just dragging ass, like, okay, guys, come on. And they went from like 10 marshals down to like 3 because they were so exhausted from our case.
And I will say this though about the marshals, man.
Who was our two favorite? Mendoza, I think.
I don't even remember Mike.
Mendoza,
Mike
you fucking
Mike.
racist piece of shit. Just because he had a Spanish last name, that wasn't his fucking last name.
But think about it though. Out of all the police officers, law enforcement we met, the marshals treated us with the most respect out of any of them.
Yeah.
They sat down and looked at us in the eye and they go, "Dude, what's happening was fucked up and wrong, and we're sorry."
And those are the people
every time.
Those are the people. Those are the people that are most like they see the most trials. They see the most, and they were the ones that said that this is fucked up.
We saw them behind the scenes, and they told us that we were getting fucked every day, and that we should not be getting convicted.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that they still worked under the DOJ umbrella, but at the same time, they're also saying that like what you guys are going through is fucked up, you know. And they're just like no as if or buts about it. Yeah, they couldn't believe it. It blew their minds. So yeah.
Breaking news: they're saying that a ruptured aorta killed Lindsey Graham, and that his father had died from the same thing at the same age.
Okay. Moment of silence.
Totally makes sense.
All right. So what's next? Right. So we've gone through all this bullshit, and we've survived it. We've survived everything they threw at us. I think at a point, like everything was going wrong. Like we kept going. How much worse can it get? And it did get worse. But now, do we stop here? And I'll
no, keep swinging. Keep swinging. Keep swinging. Keep swinging.
This is only the beginning.
How are we going to?
This is the only beginning because the 5 of us are about to be so rich, and what we're going to do with that money, we're not going to spend it exorbitantly, act like assholes, like we like to joke about. But what we're going to do is we're really going to make a change, and I think that the 5 of us are going to get together. We're really going to change stuff, and I hope that the Bureau of Prisons sees this. I hope that they give us an opportunity to work with them to help work on prison reform, to look at a lot of these cases, and there are people that we know are innocent. We have too many people for nonviolent crimes spending life sentences in prison. We have too many people who didn't commit these crimes. You could see it in the paperwork. The judges even admit it. There's a lot of racist people out there. There's a lot of black guys in there from D.C. that have been thrown in prison that shouldn't be there for things they didn't commit. And you could see it. The blood didn't match up with the crimes. It's our duty now. It's our job to help these men and women that we met when we were in prison and to bring them justice and let their family have vindication. And come home and let them see their kids. You know, we didn't just go through this battle. God put us through this battle because he knew we could take it. And now that we've made it through, we should be a beacon and we should help people. And we need to do that for the rest of our lives. We need to make it our goal, our duty to not just hold the government accountable, but to fight for those without a voice, because we have a voice. You know, not many people out there that go through something like this have the media connections that we have, I don't know. You know, God has just been there for us, and we need to help people. And
bro, and you're 100% correct, man. You're 100% right, man. Like I don't know how many times like I met people in prison, and you know I find out like, oh, you're in here for some like, you know, bullshit gun charge or something like that, and it's just like it's crazy. Like a lot of people don't know that like most of the criminal federal charges are basically laws that were created by Democrats. So basically, like, for example, the 922 G1 and, you know, G2, G3, 4, blah, blah, blah. That's a Democrat law that was created in like the 1970s. And that's actually one of the laws that like actually has contributed to locking up most black people in America and everything. And like a lot of the black people who were in federal prison with us, they were all in there for random 922 G charges. You know what I mean? Like, oh, carrying a gun or having a gun while also possessing, you know, marijuana or something, like stupid fucking charges and shit like that. And like these charges, the founders would be rolling in their graves if they knew that like people were in prison for these kind of fucking charges. You know what I mean? So
George Orwell's 1984 was just supposed to be a fiction book. It wasn't supposed to be a playbook for the fucking government, and that's what it
Yeah.
turned
Right.
out to be. They used
Yes.
it. They used it against us. They turned us on us, and they enslaved us all. And if you don't think it can happen to you, to all you Antifa fucks out there, to the legacy media, pay attention. Just because you think right now you're on top, because you think that you can float through life and get away with everything, those same people, guess what? If you look at what happened in history, you have to be a student of history. Look at the Soviet Union. Look at the birth of Antifa actually during the World Wars. They were useful idiots. That's where the term comes from. And when they got too powerful, they were killed and pushed off. And you guys will be next. The government will see no more use for you. They're using you right now to cause chaos. They're using you to sow division in this country, to turn Americans against each other. But you will be a victim of that soon. And you're going to sit there and wish I sided with the Proud Boys. I wish I should have been with them. We're in this for the country. We're here for the rights. It has nothing to do with party. It has to do with left or right. It has to do with the fact that this country used to be the greatest country in the world. Is it now? No, but it has the ability to be. You know, we have the foundation. We have the greatest constitution in the entire fucking world. And we don't need to take that for, take advantage of that. We don't take that for granted. And, everybody needs to understand that just because that happened to us doesn't mean it won't happen to you. And you need to wake up. You need to understand history. You need to be a student of it. You need to read books and educate yourself, because what happened to us could happen to you at any time. When the tides change, a new administration comes in, they might have it out for you this time. And then you're the one sitting there screaming and crying, losing everything. And you were going to want to expect other people to fight for you. But you know what? I'm not petty. And if I ever see it happen I said this the entire time when I was in jail, I would never put this on my worst enemy, except for Judge Kelly. But to everyone else,
so hold on.
You deserve to fight.
He's actually guilty.
So hold on, Ethan. So when I ask like what's next, I want to tell you guys something. We could have just gotten pardoned and we could have just fucking like done nothing. That's it. Like we quit. We're done. We're not fucking with anything else. But we came out swinging, and we came out swinging really early. As soon as we got out, we started calling attorneys. We knew what we wanted to do. We wanted to do two things. We wanted to tell our story, and we wanted to fight back. We wanted to sue the government. And those two things, we started already accomplishing it within the first 30 days. We were the first in from J6ers, by far actually, to go ahead and go on the offense. We were the first ones, and this was in February, at the end of February, a little bit over a month after. It's actually 40 days after. We announced that we were going to sue the United States government. It began with Ethan Nordine versus the United States. Now, it's all five of us versus... I'm sorry, I said it backwards. The United States versus Ethan Nordine. Now it's in reverse. Now the five of us are fighting the U.S. government. We turned the tables on them very early. We're very advanced in this in our lawsuit against the government, because the first thing that we needed to do was get these sentences that were commuted. We needed to kill that somehow, whether a pardon or through what happened with the DOJ, thanks to Zach, right? But that wasn't enough. We knew that wasn't enough, so we were working on both fronts. We were working to get the pardons or kill the indictment, and we were working on suing the government. There's a lot of people that did the tort claims, and they're currently J6ers that are suing, that they're just getting into court now. We were in court in March, okay? We were in court in March, already filing, already putting our stuff together. So what's next? When I ask what's next, I'm talking about what is the next pillar? Because the pillars in the beginning were to get us, there's three pillars that J6ers sit on. And one is get us the fuck out of jail. Get us the fuck out of prison. Get us the fuck out of solitary confinement. All right? Clear the charges. Get these guys their benefits back. Clear their record. The second thing that we sit on is how we're going to be compensated for everything that we went through in our families. All right? My mom shed tears every day. And the people who made that woman cry, those people need to pay. And I'm not talking about like violent retribution, which is look, I'm not going to promote it, but regardless of the fact, we needed something and we used the legal system to sue the government. The third thing that we need, and we're currently working on pushing it, at least advocating for it, is the people who did this to us, they need to be in prison. They need to be indicted and they need to be put away. Okay? So when I ask you guys, what's next? Give me a little bit about that fight back, the legal process that we're doing, what we're doing for as far as accountability goes, and the weaponization of the United States government under Biden. Because like I said, we could have just laid back, but we haven't. We've done a million things since then. Ethan has started a whole bunch of projects. So has Biggs. So has Pizzola, and so has Zach. So lay out for me what's next for the five of us.
Well, I think to any of the media out there watching right now, you need to put this out there. It needs to be on Nightline or ABC and all that. You need to put clips out there to all those men in there that have been illegally incarcerated. We're coming to fight for you. I hope these guys are sitting in their cells one day or in the day room and they see a clip of this and know that we remember them. We did not forget you. I know a lot of us made promises to men and women out there. And I say men and women because there's women J6ers and stuff like that. But we heard your stories and we were not going to forget them. And I hope you guys put that out there on your news shows, that we haven't forgot who you are. And we're going to fight for you just as hard as we just fought to get our rights back, to get to where we are. Secondly, now we know the inside. We know what it's like. And it's up to us to start running for office, local levels, mayors, city managers, commissioners, things like that, running for sheriff. We've seen how bad it can get when a corrupt government's in charge. It's up to us now to change the tide and to put in good statesmen. There's a difference between a politician and a statesman. A politician is someone who says things, shakes hands, kisses babies, and does what everybody wants to hear on TV, but behind closed doors, sells them out. And I don't think that's who we are as J6ers, as Proud Boys, as Oath Keepers, as anybody who went through this. We've seen it, and we need to start holding people accountable, and we need to run for these positions of power and do the right thing. We need to say no to foreign lobbyists. We need to say no to corruption. We need to say no to all this stuff and stand up and fight for people's rights. The Second Amendment is a God-given right. The First Amendment is a God-given right. That's why they're so close to each other. You need one to have the other and vice versa. But we should be standing up for these voices out there that can't speak and don't have the attention we have and don't have the connections we have, and we need to do that and work tirelessly for it. It's not a time to be complacent and be like, yay, we won, and sit back and just live in a lap of luxury. Now's the time to take that money that we can get and go and fight a corrupt government and show the people that we have the power. We, the people, have the power. We hold the cards. We're the ones in charge. You are representatives, elected representatives of the American people in your districts, and it's your job to do what we want, and that's not happening. So we need to put people in positions of power that will do that. So I think that's where we go next. We expose the corruption, and I think that's going to happen in our documentaries. I think we should all be writing books, not for monetary gain, but to shine a light in the darkness, to put a flashlight on these cockroaches that run our government and let people know that the things have to change. This country has the potential to be the greatest country in the world because we have the greatest constitution. And we need to not forget that. We need to remember that God is on our side and that God loves when men and women fight for what's good and they hold their ground and they keep their morals. And that's where we need to go with this. I think we need to fight back and continue to talk, and we don't want this to ever get swept under the rug. I retire my time.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to say something on that?
Yeah, well, like I was saying earlier, it's a complex system that has brought us to where we're at, that convicted us, that kind of spun this whole narrative, not just the government, but the media, and making life difficult for us, like the banks and other establishments, dropping us and making it impossible for us to do business equally, whether that be online or however you do business. It's been a constant struggle. So it's gonna be a complete foundational uproar with this situation. We're gonna go after everybody, and I think it's a good way for us to get involved with the community as well, because the community really went through this situation like we did, and as far as the infrastructure and everything goes, and how they were affected economically. So I would like to see in the future that once we can branch out of ourselves and our own situational our case, is start going case by case with everybody else and start doing class actions against these establishments and stuff like that. So that's what I'd like to see, and I think that's where a lot of the real justice is going to come from, so that this stuff doesn't keep happening.
Dom?
You know me, Enrique. I don't want to be famous. I don't like attention. I don't know what to tell you, man. I just want to fuck off into obscurity. I hope he gets a bunch of money so I can go buy a ranch somewhere and be away from everyone. Oh yeah.
You should have thought about that. You should have thought about that before you finished breaking that window.
I
want to be famous.
That window might be the best thing I ever did in my life.
I want to encourage the people out there watching these different states to talk to your Republican representatives and anything like that, and have us invited out there, the five of us. We need to go on a speaking tour around the country, and people need to hear the story. People, boomers, kids, all this, people need to understand the corruption that's out there. I think most people don't understand it, and I didn't understand it. My mom even told me too. She goes, I used to believe that when I saw someone get convicted and thrown in prison, that they were obviously just guilty, until I saw what happened to you. And I felt the same way, and I think that's probably the opinion of most people out there. They think that if you go to trial, that there's this fair system that happens, but we weren't given the right to bring in evidence that it was exculpatory to exonerate us or anything like that. Judge Kelly kept that hidden. We had chats that were leaked by the FBI where they plotted a plan to have, Zach's life ruined, his home taken, and things like that. And each one of us, they laughed in the background as we were just dismantled and had everything taken from us. That's not an organization, a bureau that represents the American people. That's an organization that represents evil. And we need an American country that is run by Americans, not foreign interests, America only. And we actually fight for the people and our rights. And that's something that we need to do. I want to see calls for the five of us to be brought out and speak at these events. And people need to sit down and hear us and ask us questions and find out what it's like to go through this. And I think it's going to open up a lot of eyes. And when that happens and people actually understand what happened, you're going to see a lot more encouraged youth and boomers who think that everything's peachy, understand that it's not, and that there is a fight, and that this country is worth fighting for. Soldiers like Billy Waugh and all these other people, some of the greatest people out there in the world that have fought for this country and bled and died for it. That shouldn't happen in vain. And we need to represent not only the Americans alive today, but the men and women who fought to get us here. And like you said before, they're rolling over in their graves. And that breaks my heart. That the children of this country, the sons of liberty and daughters of liberty, have squandered this and let it go so far as to a point where we now have communists running and Muslims taking over our country. That has to come to an end. And I think that we have ability to do that. And it's up to us to get out there and tell this story and never stop.
Zach, anything else to say? Anything else to add here? I'm going to bring in another Jason in a second.
Yeah, I mean, not much. Well, my cat says hi. He's like circling me. It's kind of annoying. But no, I don't.
Cat daddies.
I don't know. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I know I don't have the notoriety as some of you guys have. I don't have the followings, whatever, and I'm happy with that. But like, I am going to continue fighting in the background. I'm going to continuously do what I can to fight for us legally, whether it's compensation or
Zach, you're a
rights
fucking
or
hero.
this that.
Stop. You're a fucking hero, dude.
Yeah, but nobody acknowledges that other than you guys. So, and I'm fine with that. I don't care. Like, I don't care. So, I'm going to keep doing my thing, and that's it. That's it. So, you expect me to be fighting in the background all the time. I will always be fighting. Always
I
be
want to
fighting.
see
Always.
a real LLC. I want to see a real what do you call it? Like, what do they call the lawyer groups? Like Morgan and Morgan. I want to see real and real. I want to see you raise your little beautiful kid up, your daughter, and she becomes
Oh yeah.
a grok expert and learns how to fight for people the way you did, dude. You know, you sat there every day, and I remember telling Dom, I was like, this dude's fucking obsessed. Takes notes
Yeah.
nonstop, and you did, man. You became so
Yeah.
obsessed over this, and it pissed you off. And when you get pissed off, you get so focused and determined. And people need to know your story, dude. People should write books about that, because what you did there was really a pivotal thing in that. And I hope people, and I hope history remembers that, dude. Like, we all played a part, but you really just said, fuck it, dude. I'm tired of these lawyers. They all work for the same system that's trying to fuck us and throw us down, in a sense,
Mhm.
you know. And you said, you know what? I'm going to figure this shit out myself. And at first I was like, man, this dude's he's going out there. He's going to do it. I was like, all right, let's see what happens. And you really just fucking did it. And you made changes, you know. A shout out to Roger Roots, you know, to the lawyers that did help us, the ones that gave us, you know, motivation, you know, and helped along the way, to the Richies, to the people out there that helped us and paid for a lot of the stuff to get us through this. Well, we didn't have it. You know, there was a lot of people that came to our aid when this happened, and those people deserve our thanks too. So to everyone out there that helped Enrique, myself, Ethan, Dominic, and Zach, and help pay for these legal bills when we had nothing, when everything was taken from us, you're godsend. And we love you, and we thank you for that. And I will never forget that. And for the rest of my life, you'll always know that you are part of my family and part of my life. My mother, she fought, you know, I spoke to Ethan's mother all the time. Like, we were all concerned about what was happening and what was going to happen and was it going to get made right. You know, to Zuni, you know, Kathy, you know, we did it, and we all stuck by each other's sides. And man, think about that. Like, really, like, people don't understand. 5 of us put in a situation, didn't rat each other out. We sucked it up. We fought the biggest government in the world, and by God, we freaking won.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not on your hands and knees every night thanking God, there's something wrong. You know, at this point in time, if you have any doubts in your faith about God and His power, shame on you, shame on me. Sometimes, I mean, after God got me out, and I still was going through, after 6 months being out, I started losing faith again because nothing happened, and shame on me for that. That's my problem. That's something I have to live with for the rest of my life. But God popped up again and said, you know what? Hey, Joe, I'm still here. I still watching you. I still got your back.
So I'm gonna answer this question for.
Oh yeah, Dominic, I love you, dude. We're going to the next concert.
And then I'm gonna go to our fellow J6er that's in the green room. Barry asked, let me put it up on the screen. Barry asked, do you think this will set precedent for all J6 pending lawsuits? And the answer, I believe, to that is yes. If you notice,
oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
If you notice on like some of the documents, my name isn't on some of those documents because this already happened for me with the pardon. But the fact that now we have on paper a judge stating it, and we're going to have another paper with the oath keepers, I think this sets major precedent, not only for the tort claims, but for the eventual lawsuits once you guys get in the arena of the courts. And I'd like to bring on somebody that is, for one, an unexpected guest. 2, I don't know if he likes being called a J6er, but he's also a fellow host here at the Warboy Studios. He runs a show called Patty Don't Surf. And why Patty? Why are we bringing Patty on? And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to start here. Patty
like to start shit?
thinks the opposite. politically, he's on the opposite side of the spectrum.
I love you,
Almost
Patty.
entirely. Now, I'd say that there's a lot of nexuses between what we believe, but even though he completely disagrees with us and he hates Trump, and he's said so on the show multiple times, and he's said more than just "I hate Trump." Sometimes I want to mute him, but I don't. My hands aren't fast enough to mute. This guy got on the stand, risked everything, and defended us on the stand, and said that the Proud Boys did nothing wrong, the Seditious Five did nothing wrong. So, without further ado, I am going to bring Patty up on the screen.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, buddy? Yeah.
What's up, bud?
Hey, Patrick.
Patty.
Hey, Patrick, I want to say this really quick before you talk, dude. I love you, man. And, you know, like, we disagree on a lot of shit, but, dude, you're a solid guy. And I appreciate the fact that you came out there and you went to trial and testified, talked, and it means a lot, dude. You're a solid guy, man. Like, really, like, you're one of the few people out there on the other side that can, like, cross over and just see things for what they are factually and just be like, yeah, this is right or this is wrong, and call it out. So thank you, dude. Like, you mean a lot.
Joe,
I second what Joe said right there. So yeah.
No, you
I'm
just
not gonna
fucked me up
third it.
because I was gonna say, like, I hope that you guys all go to jail soon, like, and but now you fucked me up. Like, I can't do it because you were so nice to me.
Thank God we fucked up his
Jesus
skit.
Christ.
See, that's the thing, though. It's like I learned this, and I always tell everybody it's the 8 Mile tactic. So when you know your enemy's going to say some shit about you, you just put it out there first. So you try to be nice. It's the Eminem move.
Yeah. No, you completely screwed up my whole fucking thing right here. I can't even tell.
Sorry,
Hey,
buddy.
no, it's all right. Hey, look, man, I think that
He's got
what
the
you guys have
sunglasses
been
on.
talking about is legitimate, and we should, like, this drives me crazy because I don't know if you guys can understand this or if you're willing to understand it, because people on the left are not willing to understand it. But my friends on the left think all you guys should be in jail for the rest of your lives, no matter what, right? And all my friends on the right think that nobody did anything wrong that day. So I find myself in the middle. I find myself in a situation where I really can't argue with people because, I know people did wrong that day, but I also don't think that they all belong in jail forever, right? So what do you think about that?
I mean, I think that's a good middle of the road perspective. I mean, you have to call balls and strikes. I know you're a baseball guy. You got to be honest about situations and call wrong out when it's wrong and good when it's good, but also kind of stay and keep your head cool and be middle sometimes on the, that's what I like about you. You're able to call the balls and shots. You're able to be like an honest umpire in politics, in this cultural, diverse fucking world we live in where everything is so like just intense. You're able to sit there with a camera and film it and call the balls and shots and tell people, no, all right, this did happen, that didn't happen. And then you take the hits too. I mean, you take a lot of hits just like we do for being honest. So that's a stand-up thing, dude. So
but the thing is, like, the thing about you, Joe, like, and I want to make this really clear because I think that people may not know this. Like, I got to know you a little bit, and then I got to know you a lot more, like, when we were talking after the fact, before you went to jail, and I got to understand, like, how much you cared about your daughter and your family and like all that stuff. And like that's really, really important, man. Like and if people don't understand that kind of thing, that it's very easy to just
get
kind
lost.
Like decide that you're not a human being. You know what I mean? But that's not the case. That's not the case. You know what I mean? Like, and I know that, but they don't know that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's important, I think, that people understand that, man. You are a human being who has a family, who cares about his family, and I just think it's shitty that there are a lot of people who don't understand that. You know what I mean?
Well, I think here's a point I think that a lot of people don't really bring up, and it's you have January 6th, which is his own event, and we can have dialogue on whether somebody did something wrong or not. But then you have what happened after January 6th, the prosecutions, the indictments, is its own separate thing to me.
Sure.
And I think people conflate the two. Like, well, obviously they did something wrong, so they got 20 years for breaking a window. It's like, okay, well, we have two different issues here. We have, did we do something wrong on January 6th or not? And then how the government handled that was completely different situation. That I think on both the left and the right, we can agree on the second situation being something that we can have a fair conversation about. You'd think. Whereas January 6th, you can hate us for being there and all that stuff, and we get that. But like, dude, if dude broke a window, that's called vandalism, right? Which is usually a misdemeanor. So it's two different conversations. And I think I'm hoping through like these documentaries and conversations like this that people can start to see the difference, because a lot of people, the general public, still don't even know that people were locked up for more than a couple months. They had no idea that people were locked up for 4 straight years. They're like,
no,
I've met people all the time that are like, are you serious?
Well, no, because Wikipedia says this. If you look at Wikipedia, it only says that once we were sentenced, the time that we were in is when our jail time started. They don't they don't put in there that we were pre-trial. So they go, like, when I look at my Wikipedia page, it was like I was in jail for 6 months. I'm like, okay, buddy, really? Because I was in jail for fucking 4 years exactly, from the day Biden took office to the day Trump came in and won. 4 years.
Yeah.
I was there. So that's the other aspect to it, is because they think that they can control the narrative. They think they're smart. They're slicker than us, and that's what we have to correct as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I was locked up for Biden's entire presidency. That's wild.
Almost though.
Well, I'd like to lock you up right now.
How was it?
Like, I think you should be locked
Patty,
up now.
let me cut in here really quick. Guys. So let me ask you something. Hold on, guys, hold on. Patty, so I said that you had taken the stand. What was your experience on the stand, and why the fuck did you say yes?
Well, first of all, it scared the shit out of me. Like, the whole thing was terrifying. And I don't know if you guys could tell, like, that I was scared that day. No?
No, I didn't think so at all. I thought you came in there really fucking calm, man. And I thought you had your...
Well, I tell you, I was shitting my pants. Like, I mean, honestly, I was. But, no, I felt the need to... First of all, like, this is gonna come off a little bit odd, but when I first started going to MAGA events, I thought I was going to hate all you guys. I thought I was going to dislike every one of you.
Except Barry. You still hate Barry.
I still hate Barry.
Okay.
No, I don't hate Barry. I don't hate Barry at all. But I met Joe first, right, in the airport in San Francisco. You remember that, Joe?
Yeah, I do, man.
Yeah, I met Joe, and I realized I fucking like this guy. Like, I mean...
I'm glad you met me first, because I kind of gave you a window into the fact that there could be like normal people. Sorry, I was laying back on the couch. I am I'm an easier person for a leftist to get to like, because I'm not too intense. Like, I can sit down and listen. But fuck, man, if it would have been someone else, yeah, you probably would have hated us all.
Yeah, we went to a bar and we had a couple of beers and we watched we watched the soccer game. You know what I mean? Like, it was like no big deal. We're just like, yeah, this is cool. And then I met Ethan and I met, Enrique. And I realized I actually do like you guys. Like, it's not, it's not about like, I don't know. I felt like you guys were decent human beings.
Well, it's not as intense as the media made it out to be. Like, they all made us out to be these neo-Nazi terrorists, evil people. And you were able to see us on a human level and go, okay, I can relate to these guys in some sense on a human level. And that made it easier for you to like transition and kind of sit down and have these conversations with us. And I think that's something that's important, though, that we all need to do. We need to stop this fucking controversial shit where we fight everyone who disagrees with us and sit down and have a conversation. Right. And you did that. You were willing to do it. You were willing to break that ice. And, I hope more people on the left take that, and that the fact that you led by example there, hope that opens a window and the doors for other people to come do the same thing and just sit down and talk to us. If we do get a tour going, I hope that you come out there and talk too. I want people to ask questions to you as well. We need to have people on both sides, but it's important to know that we are not just humans, we are Americans. We all have a shared interest and love for this country. Maybe it's a little different view sometimes, but the overall 30,000 view is our families are safe, taken care of, our government's watching out for our back, our military is strong, can take care of us, and that we're not getting fucked over, and we have a justice system that actually cares about justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So
with you. Yep.
we're coming up on an hour and 37 minutes right now.
Who cares? Let's go for 5 hours.
No, that's fine. No, I don't give a fuck. I'll keep going. I ain't got shit to do tonight. But with you guys, we already said like how we got here. We've already said like what's next. So let's go back. If you want to keep this rolling, I'll keep this rolling. I don't give a fuck. How all this started for each one of us. And I'll start with Ethan, right? Because like you got to get involved. There's an issue that always drags you in. It hooks you in, right? For Bernie supporters, it was decriminalizing marijuana and making it legal. And then they got fucked over by Hillary Clinton. They hated Hillary Clinton, and a lot of them moved over to the Trump camp, to the MAGA camp, right? So what put its hooks in you to get you involved, right? Like, we're going through like origins here. So Ethan, let's start.
Yeah. Well, I was in Seattle at the time when everything started popping off in 2016, and it was just an escalation of events that were happening, people getting canceled, or events being boycotted in college and stuff like that of right-wing speakers. I remember Gavin, he was going through some stuff, Milo Yiannopoulos at the time. And it was a really big talking point to like basically college campuses were becoming non-free speech environments. Then you have the destruction and the riots, and the riots kind of were the variable that pushed me over the edge. And in 2017, there was an event called May Day in Seattle, which is usually a big protest event. And with everything, all the political, division going on at the time, I was anticipating there's going to be a lot of violence. So I just showed up to Seattle on this event on May Day to just help out however I could. I had no plan or anything. And then that's when I ended up meeting the Proud Boys. And so, Seattle or the Pacific Northwest, especially, Portland, Berkeley, those were hot spots. A lot of us still refer to Portland as the belly of the beast as far as Antifa and left-wing activity, especially violent activity. And that's, over the years since I joined in 2017 to, 2021 when I got locked up. My notoriety in those areas really exploded because, I was just really good at knocking out Antifa. And, that I think, that's how I met Enrique through rallies and Biggs as well. We started doing security for these events, and people saw what we were doing and doing it effectively. And they were reaching out to us, Latinos for Trump and all these other organizations were begging us, hey, please come do security for our events. And so you get, me, Biggs, Enrique, and some other guys, we started really getting serious about this and planning how we're going to do this because we were growing so fast. And the Brotherhood on top of, the political stuff that we were doing, the Brotherhood was really taking off well because it was just a place for men to come to that didn't exist before, especially if you're right wing at all. You don't have to be right wing, but it was a paradise for guys, just to be around other guys who didn't give a shit what you thought or how you felt. It was just kind of like, this is what it is. And, that has obviously escalated into the political environment as well. And I think America needed to see that. I think about this a lot. I think America needed that breath of fresh air of like, we're still at it. We still got this. And, through videos of what we were doing out on the streets, till current, what we, overcoming the plague of this government corruption and just fighting and fighting and fighting. I think people need to see examples of that, little clips of that here and there to continue living that courageous lifestyle that we want everybody to live. So, it was a big journey altogether, and meeting Biggs and Enrique and Zach and Dom. All these guys are uniquely just special people, courageous, smart, intelligent. Like a degree of like ingenuity, each one of them that is unparalleled. And so I think that's plays a part in the success of this case, as well as the success of the Brotherhood and everything else, and all the experiences that we've had together.
Dom,
Yes, sir.
how'd you like? I don't know. How'd you like activate? Like decide to fuck? I need to go out and I need to do something.
I saw you guys rallying in November, the November rally, and that's when the whole confrontation happened with you guys with Antifa in DC, and that was everywhere. And I just saw what you guys were doing, man, and I just want to go and stomp commies with you. That's all.
Yeah, that worked out really well.
Yeah, it worked out really well, man. I picked the right time to join the club.
All right, Zach.
Well, hey,
Go ahead, Biggs.
wait. Well, look, like,
Oh, go.
what are you gonna do, Zach, from here on out? What's your goal now? Now that you've officially helped dismantle the greatest conspiracy in the world and one of the biggest trials in the world. Like, are you gonna? I just want to say this. I want to encourage you, man. Like, I know you got other things you want to do, but I hope you run with that, man. I really do. Like, I hope that you end up becoming a fighter, a warrior for people who don't have the ability to do it, who are lost. Because you came from, nothing like I did, and here you are. You got motivated. You looked in the mirror. You said, "Fuck this! I hate what I'm seeing. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fight it. I don't care how big it is." And you stood up to the United States. Iran's too much of a bitch to do that. Israel's too much of a bitch to do that. And these people, they think they can just stand up and beat us. And if they did, they get their ass whipped. We're back-to-back World War champs. And here you are, dude. You said, "I'm gonna fucking fight them," and you did it. I hope you stick with that, man. Like, I hope you find that God has given you a gift and a determination to never back down, and I hope you run with that.
I appreciate that, Joe. It actually means a lot, man. It really does. And like I said, I never thought I'd be in this, this position I am right now. Like how I started off was I was in college. I was going to Temple University, and I ended up getting involved in politics just because I was promoting a the politics page I had and everything, and I remember there was an anti-Trump rally. I think it was called Impeach Trump. It was Impeach Trump. That's what they were doing in Philly, and I was like, that's such a fucking ridiculous fucking thing. Like, the guy was only in office for like 5 months at the time, so I was like, I love Trump. I loved Trump before it was cool. Like, Trump was actually he was actually huge in my area, in the Northeast area. We would go to I guess you could say the Atlantic City. He had his casinos out there. He's had hotels up in New York. I live in Philadelphia, so like I actually know people who worked for Trump and everything. So like I've never heard anything bad about Trump. So like when he decided he was going to run for president, I was actually really fucking excited over it, and I thought it was actually really fucking cool. And I was like, this guy's going to be fucking great. Well, whatever. He ends up running for president, and I forgot my train of thought on that, but yeah. So anyway, wait, what?
It got you pumped up, man. Your boy Trump was running for president, dude.
Yeah, and like I said, like I was excited about it. I actually was, and I forget the point that I was getting at on that one, but regardless, yeah. You know what? I don't fucking know.
Look, I'll say something.
I drank too many fucking beers.
Hey, Enrique, I want to say one thing, and I know I can talk because I actually, out of all of us, I've actually worked in radio and TV a lot, so I have the ability to speak a lot. I know, so if I get too annoying, just
I think
fucking,
looking at the comments, I think our audience can tell.
Oh, they're saying they're tired of me talking.
No.
Oh,
I'm just
whatever.
a miserable old
Fuck
man.
'em. But listen,
Anybody.
you know, I'm not a cultist. You know, I can call the balls and shots, the strikes and all that stuff when I see it. I'm not a loyalist to a person in politics. I think they're a representative of the people. I think it's our duty as Americans, and keep the 6 of us up, not just on me. It's our job to call out our elected officials, right? We all agree on that, I hope, right? It's our job to, when they do the right thing, to pat them on the back and say, thank you for doing what we elected you to do. But when they fuck up and they go against that, it's our job to call them out. And I do want to say thank you to Trump for getting us to the position where we're out of prison so we could fight back. That is a commendable thing. Thank you. But to be honest, you're surrounded by dickheads. And I hope that you see this, President Trump. You need to put in people that are going to be honest. And I see interviews with people like John Rich and all that, where they've been to these sit downs and they're surprised at how cultish the people are that work for you and will just say whatever it is you want to hear. To be a good leader, you need to have people around you. You need to be surrounded by people who will tell you the truth and say that what you're doing sometimes is fucking stupid or wrong. And you need to have people like us that can go, look, you're doing this wrong. You're not listening to the people who put you here. You're doing the wrong thing. You have the ability to do great things. But sometimes I think you listen to the advice of too many fucking dickheads out there. And Susie Wiles is the wrong person. You need to make someone like us your chief of staff. Preferably, I'll take the job. Even though I hate DC.
And hey, and by the way, and thank you for filling in the gaps there, Joe. I remembered my train of thought now. I was actually just going on, like, the reason why I did my first event was because I was doing an event to support Trump. And the reason why I supported Trump because I liked Trump before he ever ran. And I actually, when I did my first event, it was called March for Trump, and I did it in Philadelphia. And then after that event, I actually did like a Back to Blue event. I didn't know the Proud Boys yet. I didn't know the Proud Boys at all. But when I did this Back to Blue event in Philly, like a year later, the Proud Boys actually reached out to me, and I actually ended up becoming, part of the brotherhood. And like, and I'll forever appreciate the bond that I have with, the Proud Boys and everything, and all you guys. Cause like, you know what I mean? Like, shit, just sitting through fucking trial with you guys, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like the realest shit you could ever fucking put in the words. Like we all fucking sat there and said, fuck you to the government, and we fucking fought the government. Hey, we lost the trial because, the the DC jury fucking hated us, but you know what? Like, we won in the end, and that's all that matters. So I'll fucking ride with you guys forever, and I love you guys.
Amen.
That's it.
It sure would be.
So I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna write a book about you guys.
Oh yeah. He told me this.
No, that would be cool. I mean, that would be an
I would
interesting
love to read that. I would love to read a book about us by Patrick.
Yeah, no. So seriously, like, I
would
really mean this. I'm gonna do the best I possibly can to be as honest as I possibly can about what you guys, who you guys are, and I think it's going to piss off a lot of my lefty friends. I think it's going to piss off a lot of you guys.
As long as it doesn't piss us off, we'll kick that door in.
No, it'll piss you off. It'll definitely piss you off. But
Maybe not
I'm going to be as honest as I can, and I would never. By the way,
we'll kick that fucking door down.
I would never, talk about, things that were,
Oh, he's doing it under
not.
duress.
Yeah. Okay, so we understand that it's just going to be. I really, really feel that you guys are misunderstood. I think that people misunderstand you guys, and I think that I can write it the way that would actually, show you in the light that you should be shown in, rather than this popular, bullshit that you would get on CNN.
I
Okay.
actually would give you
I don't expect any of us to be ever be put in a positive light, but if you can attempt to try it, more power to you, bro.
I'm
I
not
mean,
saying
honestly,
saying
I think
positive. I'm just saying accurate.
truthful. Yeah, I mean, I honestly
I
think
mean,
that if anybody could do it, you would be able to do it because you really are honest with us about like how you feel on our stances, with how you feel versus stuff, versus the public's perception of how we are, and you'll be, this is what they say, and then I've seen it, and I disagree with that, and I agree with some parts. I actually think that you would be probably one of the best choices to do an official biography on it, on this situation out of anybody, really, because I don't want someone who's just going to kiss our ass and suck us off and make us look, perfect, because we're not. We're imperfect human beings. But I do think that you have an impartial view that deserves to be heard, and I think you would do a good job at it.
I think the easiest way to describe you guys is you're decent people who aren't perfect. You make you're like the rest of us. We're all fucked up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we're all fucked up. So I don't expect you to be perfect. I don't expect you to be 100%. You may be Christians, but you may fall short, right?
We all do.
We all do, don't we all? You know what I mean? Like so that's the way it is, and that's the way I'm going to write it, and I'm going to do my best to be honest.
What are you going to call it?
The biggest trait that we have that is separate from.
You should call it misunderstood. The story about the Proud Boys.
No, he should just call it.
I sent you the title. I sent you the title.
I got the perfect thing. Just call it Enrique. It's perfect.
Dude, here we go. Fucking ego.
Yeah, but
I sent you the title.
What's different about us is even on our own side, even on the right, we were ostracized, let alone what they did to us on the left. So, we are these guys that, exactly how you.
Yeah, the boomer, right? Yeah, the fucking.
Well, we also have this superhuman trait of just zero Fs. Like, I don't care. We're gonna go this way anyway. You can fire us. You can put us in. So there's an energy there that's different than just your there are good, decent dudes that aren't perfect. Yeah, but there's something else going on here.
The Pride Boys
And
operate.
you too, Patrick. I mean, I'm not you're part of that too. But there's something special to be said, that I think should be captured in who we are.
The Proud Boys operate in this.
Well, I want to talk to you guys about this
space in the conservative movement, where other people have to be careful with what they say. They got to be extra PC about it. They don't want to talk, and we say whatever the fuck we want, right? And we get away with it. And the reason why we get away with it is because we've pushed that so far, and we've pushed free speech so far that we inspire a lot of people to not be PC. I've seen it. It's one of the reasons, and I will tell you that one of the reasons that you could thank one group of men that you could thank for that is the Proud Boys, because we've been like that since day one. We've been like that since 2016. This month marks 10 years of our existence. And it's wild to me to say a quarter of my life has been spent within this group. And nobody else. There's no other group or individual that can do what we do and can say the things that we say.
Yeah, but I'm going to compare
not that we
it to
say crazy
Skinhead.
shit.
I'm going to compare it to Skinhead because that's
happening.
what it is.
Go ahead.
That's what it I'm seriously going to compare it to Skinhead, and I don't mean that in a nasty way or a racist way. No, not
well, because people think that
racist
skinheads are racist. Not all.
No, like regular traditional skinhead, right? Because I think the Proud Boys really are traditional skinheads. I think that's the way it is. And if you don't know anything about traditional skinheads, then you wouldn't be able to get that. But I can tell you that that's what it is, man. I think that's what you guys are. And it's important that maybe you understand that. You
can't put me in a box.
I'll put you in whatever box I want. You asshole.
Well,
Joe,
I'm
I
excited.
can't hear you.
Either way, I don't care how you write it. I'm going to read it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do my best to be honest. You know what I mean? Like I really I don't think you guys will find anything that I say like dishonest or whatever. I'm just
I'm
gonna
going to
do
write a
my
book
best.
about you.
Look, but
It's gonna
in
be a
trial,
pop-up
you know,
you could do it.
you know,
I got some
art
good stories,
imitates
man.
life. Art imitates life. Life is, you know, down, or pop culture is downstream from life. How's that saying go? I can't remember. You know, in art though, there's realism, abstract, impressionism, surrealism. But during our trial, there was a new art form created by Dominic Mazzola. I don't know what we call it, maybe psychoticism or something, but Dominic Pizzola drew some of the most beautiful pieces ever.
Do you still have those, Dom?
I know this. I know this because I sat beside him every day in trial. But he is a talented motherfucker artistically, not just verbally artistic, like a you know, like a great speaker,
A true New Yorker.
But every
You
day
know
in
how
trial he
fucked up
drew.
you guys look.
He drew a new picture, and he would draw these pictures that, you know, here we are, we're getting bent over backwards by the government, and he puts a picture out and shows it to us, and it's just enough to make us all laugh, you know, and it helped get us through us, you know. And that was one of the things I really looked up to, the five of us. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but when we were in those catacombs, like you called it, under the courthouse, we did pranks. We did pranks on the marshals. We joked, you know. I would pull my pants down and take a drop a deuce in front of everyone, and we would have the marshals come over to look.
Fucked up when I got in there to testify. I looked at you and I didn't even barely recognize you motherfuckers. You looked so ridiculous. Like you and Enrique and fucking Ethan. Like, I mean, you like I never had the pleasure of meeting, you know, Dominic and I only met well, it wasn't too many times, but you guys looked all fucked up. Like it was, I was like, Jesus Christ, man, give that guy a sandwich. Can we please? You know, like what the fuck is going on right now?
Dude, every day, dude. I was writing.
I felt so bad for you, poor bastards, man.
I was writing notes like saying, "Does Judge Kelly even know what justice is, or has he ever read the Constitution?" And then it gets thrown in the trash, and somehow ends up on CNN. Thinks my former lawyer. I won't mention his name because I'm sure he'll fucking try to sue us all. But my first lawyer, I think he was a mole, and secretly hated us all. He cussed out all of our witnesses, dissuaded many people from testifying in our defense. But Dominic and I would do a lot of funny shit to keep us all, like, we try to keep our spirits up. If I saw the guys down and I was down, but I had the energy in me to make everyone smile, I'd do something stupid, like I'd strip down or whatever, take a shit in front of everyone, in front of the marshals, and make everyone laugh. You know, we'd be handcuffed at our ankles and feet, and I'd start running and diving across the metal, you know, benches, and we'd start doing races. We start throwing apples at each other, oranges. We take our mustard packets from our bologna sandwiches and writing, allegedly writing like graffiti on the walls, like "fuck Judge Kelly" and shit like that. But you know, we found a way to have fun. And I remember hearing these other guys going through trial and the other cells across from us going, dude, like, how do you guys do this? Like, how you've been here forever and everyone's talking about it. And the reason we got through is because we loved each other and we just joked on each other. Enrique, every time, all he did was just come in there, laugh for a second, and then you'd hear him snore and he'd be curled up in a ball. And then I got the idea to start toilet papering them. Like when I used to live on Clemson University, I grew up at Clemson University on the campus there. My mom was a teacher there, and I got first time I ever got in trouble with the cops. The first time I ever got in trouble was for toilet paper in the John C. Calhoun mansion, which is like a prized possession on Clemson University. And the cops came to my house, and that was my first experience with cops. And when I saw sweet little Terrio there laying down, I was like, dude, let's get the fucking toilet paper, but leave enough for me because I always have to shit. And we start toilet paper and Enrique, and next thing you know, he looks like a mummy, and the marshals are coming by laughing, and the other prisoners going through shit, they're laughing, and it lightened the mood up. Like, we found a way to just live and enjoy ourselves.
I pulled up that CNN article. Hold on.
Nope.
I pulled up this CNN article.
My bad.
Wait, where is it?
I got you. Sorry.
Oh, my bad. Okay. So I pulled up the CNN article and
Oh yeah.
crazy. Hold on a second. How do I close the fucking? This is the stupidest fucking thing in the world. I want the full fucking screen.
Yeah, that's what they do now.
This is retarded.
Oh, look at
Okay.
the last name of the person who wrote it. No wonder you have that big ad on
So
there.
CNN writes, "Don't freak out. Notes from the defense table during the Proud Boys seditious conspiracy trial." And somebody wrote Steve Reich and wrote Reich under it. I have no idea who wrote that. That's probably in another trial, and they're attributing to us. We never wrote that ever. There's a funny one here. Somebody wrote, "I was 25 when this trial." Who drew this? Was this Dom, or was this you, Biggs?
No, they didn't get none of mine, thank God.
No, thank God. I want to mention yours for a second.
I may or may not have drawn a picture of a certain prosecutor being teabagged during trial.
Norm Pattis, one of the attorneys, said, "You didn't even find the truly funny notes. Keep
He's a
digging."
fucking straight up idiot.
Yep.
This was Ethan, because me and Ethan were obsessed with Chicken Day.
Oh yeah. You guys talk about it all the time.
I want your chicken, dude.
Dos
Give me
pollos para mí, por favor. This is the notes. We're supposed to be passing out serious fucking notes.
And
You
we're
know,
like,
like, hey guys,
we're literally shitting on each other and making each other laugh.
look, here it says it on flashcards. This is when we were going through jury trial. We said yes to somebody, no to somebody. Oh, hell no. We called one a spy, and the other one we're like, we don't care. That's fine.
Who was the woman who was
I did the one right there that says, "Can you be fair? Can you be fair and impartial, judge?"
Yeah.
There was a woman who was blogging, who was doing like every day.
Oh, the fat chick. Yeah, the fat chick.
Yeah, the fat chick. Like who?
Yeah, that's my writing, 100%. That's me.
Yeah.
Oh, she.
Because he's asking the jurors right at this moment when
She said I had a very well manicured goatee.
Well, there you go, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
was
Smash.
She was down with me. Yeah.
This was my paralegal. She was just typing. This is what a normal note should look like, instead of fucking like little cartoons. But like you said, some of the best cartoons.
That's me.
Oh, look. Oh, this is my attorney saying the jury is looking at you. Make sure you behave. You always behave.
God, I got tired of
Because
hearing
we
that.
were fucking joking the whole fucking time there because it was a joke. That's exactly what this trial was. It was a straight fucking
I'll go
joke.
back up a little bit. They showed my picture. That was kind of cool.
Wait, where is it?
Nothing. I'm just joking. I don't care.
Oh.
But yeah, it's on the left right up there.
But the funniest oh wait, where did Zach
Dude, they
go?
put us in South Park.
Yeah.
They did an episode on
Zach, tell me when
SNL
you come back
where,
on your camera.
like,
I got him.
we've literally like changed so much shit and been a part of pop culture. It's funny. The more they hold us down, the bigger we get.
But the funniest drawings, like Big said, the funniest drawings came from Dom. They were rough drawings. Dom drew the fucking judge laying on the floor, and Dom
Waterboarded.
and he does it, you know, it's kind of like that style of like Beavis and Butthead's, like really rough. And he put these giant, oversized, hairy balls on his face, right? And I'm telling Dom, I remember telling Dom, bro, if they find these papers, and the marshal sitting behind us, he saw it. And he started fucking laughing. He had to cover his mouth laughing. It was they were really good. Do you still have those drawings, Dom?
Dude, my lawyer has most of those. He got Steve took those.
I'm gonna call Steve.
I gotta-
We need those. We need those.
Steve
For
as well.
science, bro.
Funny as shit, dude.
Yeah.
We fucking need those for science.
I got a question. Because I have this question because the book is still sitting at my house. What? Why did you need a rhyming dictionary,
Oh,
Joe?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
so
Oh, because I was doing like raps and shit in there, man. Because I was bored. I was in solitary confinement. So I was like, I was drawing pictures.
Don't ever fucking
And
call me
then
black
sometimes I
again.
could only pick up rap stations on my little wind up radio. So I was like, man, fuck these dudes, man. Fuck Dr. Dre. I could do better than this guy. And no offense, Dr. Dre, I love you. So don't try to like get all your hood rat friends to come stab me. But I was trying to be funny, you know, and
Yeah.
I needed a rhyming dictionary so I could
Yeah, I
just
was
abuse myself.
talking to Joe one day, and he was like, "Hey, man, I need a rhyming dictionary." And I said, "Yeah, dude, I got you. Of course, me not knowing how the system works, I had it fucking sent to my house, and I can't apparently send it to a prison after that. But yeah, so it's sitting at my house, and I was like, "Whatever, dude. You want a rhyming dictionary? You got a rhyming dictionary. Maybe you'll get it one day."
You know, I read over 1,000 books in there. You know, I really I took that time to learn a lot of stuff. And, you know, that's something I'm going to start doing is like not only like book reviews, a book club thing, but I really want people to, like I said, become students of history. I mean, that's how you educate yourself. That's how you, when you understand what's happened in the past, you can kind of start to predict in a sense what's going to happen in the future when you start to see those same patterns happen again. And it helps you, you know, like strategically kind of get yourself prepared for what's about to happen or what could happen, because we all repeat. Everything's cyclic, in my opinion. I believe that everything in life is cyclic. You know, it's like the good times create strong times create weak men, and you know, and it's that cycle, and it does happen. So I mean, I think it's imperative for men and women out there to really read. So I want to start doing these things where I read these books, I break down and do historical context behind stuff to help people kind of like want to learn and make education fun in a sense. I think that's how we move forward too, is like we should really be students. To be a true statesman and to be a true American, we need to know where we come from. I think most of us fall short there. We really don't understand the sacrifices, the stories, the heroism, the slightest, the betrayal, you know, the fucked up shit we've had to do as well to get to where we're at. And it's all part of our story. It shouldn't be anything that we're really ashamed of, but we should be aware of everything that we've done and learn from it and move on from it. And, you know, I think that helps. I think that's something that we really need to do just individually as human beings, whether it be within our own, you know, beliefs, religion, you know, as Christians, as whatever, but as Americans, to want to be true statesmen, we need to know where we came from and we need to understand those sacrifices.
Dude, if you do book reading, like I think that people would like it, man. I think you got a good voice, and if you go with that, and you actually put out that product, I think that people would enjoy you know, listening to it. So you should do that, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I need to get off here soon, guys, but I just wanted to kind of finish up just my final thoughts real quick, and then I'll get off of here. You know, we are going to continue this fight like we've been doing nonstop. It's going to be at a different level, hopefully soon here. We're going to be really pressing hard on this lawsuit. I mean, we're really hoping that we can get the public some more of this discovery and evidence available for the public, these documentaries, these books. We got a documentary and book coming out here very, very soon, which, like Joe said, it's phenomenal. It's amazing. I've seen it myself. You know, there's just been a huge lack of representation on who we are, not even talking about January 6th, but who we are and this whole journey that we've been on that has led us up to this point. And then, of course, January 6th and how that really is applicable to everybody, and how I'd really like to encourage everybody to take a look at this when it comes out and learn about what happened in our case, because it really dives deep into what happened in our case. And so I just want to thank everybody who's continued to support us and help us get through this fight. It's been very difficult for everybody, I know. And I just want to, you know, give honor where honor's due. Praise God for getting us out of here and leading us down this path and introducing me to these gentlemen here and everybody and the supporters. It's been a fantastic opportunity and journey and growing experience for me. And with that, I'd just say, you know, love you guys. I'm really happy about everything and the direction we're going. So proud of your boy, and I'll see you guys soon.
I will say this in closing. I am not bitter. I went through this, and for me, this is a journey, a obstacle, a challenge that I never thought I'd go through, and I did it. I didn't do it by myself. I did it with God's help. I did it with the help of my family, my brothers, but I did it. And I'm here to stand tall and to tell the story about it. I'm not a victim. Things happen, yes, and it sucks. And I know sometimes I get down and I do feel like that victim, and we all get in our heads sometimes. We're human. But I did achieve something, and I did learn and grow from that. And it's changed me for the better or the worse sometimes. There's a lot of things that I've learned from this experience. And a lot of things that I've come out of this experience with that I feel like have made me not such a good person sometimes, and I have to conquer that next in life. You become super vigilant. You become super vigilant in combat, but you become super vigilant in a different way in prison. You learn to look at relationships different. Everything is different in combat, in the real world, and in prison. And I've had to go through these 3 different types of, phases where I've had to wear almost different masks to survive and become different people to survive, as a survival mechanism to get through these tragic things. And in all seriousness, I do want to say thank you, Trump. I know I have been critical and I will always be critical of any elected official. And with all jokes aside, I do hope that you, Timothy J. Kelly, become a better judge. I hope that maybe you'll see. I know it's a far-fetched thing, but I'm being serious. I hope that maybe after all this is done, that someday in your life, it might be any time while you're, in your position, but maybe someday in life, God will reach out to you and you'll understand that what you did was fucked up and wrong. And you destroyed people's lives for no reason. You did it for a political reason. You didn't do it for right and wrong. I can't believe that someone like you got to that position and you're a fucking moron. I think you knew what you're doing. I think that you knew that you were unjust. I think you knew that you were playing a part in a conspiracy to cover up one of the greatest coups in American history. And I hope that you change your life and become a better person. But at the end of the day, still fuck you. Because you fucking tried to run all of our lives. But, may God have mercy on your soul because I have no mercy for you.
But we fuck back. We fuck back, and I think we've proven that. Let's start wrapping up here. We're getting into the bottom of the second hour. We're about to go a little bit over the bottom of the. We're gonna get in. Usually we're in here for an hour and a half on the news brief. Obviously, this show had to cover a lot because there's 5 of us, a lot of people talking. So we'll go through just like closing remarks here. Dom, any last words for the firing squad?
I like to see all these people say that we didn't win and stuff, but we absolutely won, Enrique. And we're not done winning, man. I'm not much for words unless the government's got me on a stand for 3 days straight. But I don't think you can get any less of a giant fucking win considering what they did to us, man. I mean, we've been exonerated. Our indictment's been dismissed. Like, I think that's the ultimate win, to be honest with you.
Amen. Biggs, any last words?
Don't give up.
Amen.
Don't give up. Always fight. Be true to your brothers. Don't let the devil get in your ear and head. Sometimes when it feels like everything's collapsing around you, the devil can get in your head and come on, man. Just, whatever, save yourself. And I hope it's an inspiration to people out there to know that, like you said, it's very unusual when there's 5 men in a trial that, only one doesn't rat, the other 4 rat the other guy out. And that's typically what happens. We are 0.5% of all the trials. This type of thing.
That's probably the numbers in trial. That's not even the numbers of people that fucking
full exoneration, full dismissal of your indictment, your conviction, the grand jury, all that. This has all been wiped. And that doesn't happen much. And we did that. And that's history. And that's something we should all be proud of. And I hope people out there, when you go home to your friends and family, you look them in the eye and tell them I love you and I thank you. Make sure you treat your friends around you good. Don't be sly and sneaky and try to pull wool over their eyes, because they might, one day you might be in trial with them. They're going to rat your ass out. The five of us have been the best of friends through thick and thin. And I hope that continues forever. And I hope that our friendship is something that inspires people for generations to come. And Pat, you're part of that. You're part of our friendship. You're part of our family. I hope you know that. You've been with us for a long time, and we appreciate you as well. Dominic, I fucking love you, dude. We've been through a lot. We've had a lot of close conversations, so we've been home. You've stayed with me at my house. We've gone to concerts together and been stalked by the sheriff's department. But when you're put to the test, when you're put under pressure like that, the real human in you comes out. Like, your real true character comes out. And I think that the five of us have been tried and tested, and we have not been found wanting. We have succeeded in every way possible when it comes to friendship and loyalty. So to that, I am forever grateful for all of your friendships, and there's not a fucking thing in the world that can ever take away what we've done and the obstacles we've overcome. And I'm so fucking proud of all of you, and I will be in your lives forever, and I love you all.
Patty, do you have any ongoing things or things that are coming up?
Well, I would say, just in response to Joe, all of you listen to really, really shitty music, and I really detest all of it. And I wish that you would
music is.
I wish you would figure out a way to listen to something that doesn't suck. But as far
Metal's
as people,
awesome.
as far as people goes,
Yeah, you come to a concert
by
with
the
me
way,
and Biggs.
I do have to say that Joe is pretty awesome at doing some White Zombie, karaoke. Like that's some pretty hardcore shit that Joe's into. No, but I think you guys are all awesome, and I just wish that people could know you guys, not just about your political opinions, but just know you personally. Because if they did, then they would know that you're decent human beings. And I wish that was possible. I guess it's not, because we live in a kind of a fucked up society. So because it's not, I'll have to live with that. But I really do care about you guys, and you're decent human beings, and thank you for being my friends. I appreciate it.
Man. Reno.
Oh,
I'm going to
sorry.
me.
I don't have anything, brother. This isn't my show. It's not about me. It's about you guys. I'm just happy.
Don't matter. You got anything coming up?
We got things in the works.
I'm doing it to pressure you so you could fucking start your show.
I know. I've only done one episode, but it's okay. I mean, whatever. If God leads me there, He leads me there. I'm just happy to have every one of you guys in my life, though. You've made me a better person, and I've learned a lot from you guys. And though we don't share the same, fraternity anymore, because we've all, I've taken a different direction in my life. Every one of you guys are always going to be my brother. And that includes Patty, whether he likes it or not, because we do share the same kind of music.
He doesn't like it.
We share the same music. But, yeah.
Did you say you share the same music?
Yeah, we both like punk. So
you guys listen to Disney fucking?
Yeah. We listen to Disney tunes. We listen to punk sung in the terms of Disney tunes.
Near, far,
yeah.
All right. So
all of that.
Here I come.
Fucking show tunes.
You guys watch my show every time we go on. Me and Barry have been traveling a little bit. So you haven't been listening to us as much anymore. So I don't have to say much. Most of you people tune in and watch our news brief. So the only thing I'm going to say is that I love these guys. I went through hell with them. This includes Patty and Reno because both of them supported us while we were gone, along with a lot of you.
Barry's a fat fuck.
Well, all right. So Patty's halfway. Because he
I love
voted
Barry
for
too.
Kamala Harris. He talks all this shit and he voted for Kamala Harris. But for the most part, like these guys and Barry's in the audience. He's listening. Barry's another one. We've been doing a lot of cool stuff. I'm going to get to that in a minute. So Biggs, I love you. I wish Ethan and Zach were still here, but I don't have to tell them. They fucking know. Dom's here. I love you, brother. Barb's in the fucking comments. Love you, Barb. And this is actually the first time, maybe I'm wrong. Biggs, Dom, correct me here. I think this is the first time that all 5 of us are together on the same pod. I think
Yeah, it is.
the first time we had a little bit of technical difficulties. I like doing these things, even if we're just sitting back and talking shit. We should do them a little bit more often, just to kick back and just talk shit, not like talk about specifics, which this one was about. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We got 3 new subscribers to my Substack. I'm also streaming this to Substack. Number 1, I might be pronouncing this wrong. Pat Cruz 17. Big shout out to you. Thank you. Swag Mommy. Big shout out to Swag Mommy here. And our 3rd subscriber has subscribed for a full year of content, and her name is Patricia Aguino. We'd like to thank you for giving us not only a full year of subscription because you support the right wing and conservatism so much, but I also like to appreciate you for giving Barry that beautiful, beautiful bullhorn that we sold for auction to help a J6 family. We raised thousands of dollars for a J6 family right from that. And then happening.
And then also, thank you, Sweaty Ball 69, for sending Enrique that butt plug that he liked. It's a gold-plated one. It also plays Disney show tunes as well when it goes in and out. He really enjoys it. I know he always talks about it. So, Sweaty Ball 69, thank you for that butt plug for Enrique. We're all appreciative.
Patricia Aguina is,
check it out.
is definitely the real hero.
Hey, it's a razor, bro.
I was going to say, my question is why do you really have that?
Chill the fuck out. Patty, what are you showing off there, bud?
Holy.
A fucking...
Oh, that's me. That's me in there. What?
Yeah, you like that?
That is a classic right there. That is a relic.
That's a piece of history. That should be in the Smithsonian Institute.
I had 2, and I gave one to Kyle Rittenhouse. By the way, I'm trying to... Kyle Rittenhouse rescheduled, so we'll have that show, I think, next week. Let me talk about a little bit about the documentary that's coming out. If you guys are in the South Florida area or would like to travel, I think soon we'll be having a premiere for the documentary that Biggs and Ethan was mentioning. We're trying to find a location now. It's going to be the premiere for the documentary, and it's going to be the book reveal. The book is completely done. We're working on the cover right now. It's going to be about the 5 of us and our struggles and the things that we did. It's crazy that I just said.
Yeah, don't say I struggled. Yeah, don't say that.
Yeah.
My struggle.
That's a different book, sir.
My struggle.
Your comp.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to say it too. Let me not. Somebody's gonna clip it. Somebody's
he's gonna soon start selling pictures.
Dildo clip out of there. So those 2 things are coming out. There's a refresh on the website.
Is that his ass?
Oh my god!
Stop. Where does he live? In a fucking what do you call it? One of those what are those pods? Like those like storage units they drop off in your yard?
He lives in a tiny house.
That's actually in his backyard. When his wife kicks him out, that's where he sleeps.
Oh, so he's in it all the time.
I'm surprised this guy's married.
He's got a WP on his ass.
I'm surprised this guy's married as long as he has. She needs a fucking trophy for putting up with his ass for so long. Look at him. He went to go check in right now. He went to go, hey, babe, I'm still up here.
Hey, I'm still up here. Can I have a beer,
She thinks he's
please?
playing video games or some fucking shit.
Can I get a Shirley Temple?
Right?
Here, let me finish this up or else we'll be here forever. New website refresh. We're going to have a new URL. But very important, I'm going to blow myself up for this one. Guys, tomorrow, me and Barry traveled to Belfast, Northern Ireland, to cover an attempted beheading by a Sudanese migrant that has an extensive criminal history and was let into the country. And Northern Ireland doesn't fuck around. The local groups got together and they burned almost an entire block of immigrant housing that is owned by these NGOs that are buying up these properties and filling them up with illegal immigrants, and the Northern Irish aren't putting up with that shit. So two things are going to happen. That documentary, that short doc that me and Barry made, that's releasing tomorrow morning or afternoon, and at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, we're going to have a space where some of the guests that we interviewed on that documentary will be answering questions. Me and Barry will be giving our experiences, and we're going to open up the floor for you guys to ask any questions about what's going on in Northern Ireland or to ask questions about our documentary. So I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you to these three people, Pat Cruz 17, Swag Mommy, Patricia Guino, that bought a fucking lifetime subscription to my Substack. Somebody that hated us so much has put money into our book. So we'd like to thank Patricia Guino. And with that, do you guys have anything else to add before I sign off? Oh, shout out, very important. That documentary is going to come out on the Gateway Pundit exclusively on the Gateway Pundit. So go ahead and go to Twitter and go to their Rumble and subscribe.
Tomorrow.
So I go back to this. Do you guys have anything else before we close out the show?
Yeah, just like I said, thanks to everybody out there that supported us, through thick and thin. Our parents, your mom, Ethan's, mine, Zach's family, Dominic's, it's been there. Angela, she's been there with me since before all this, and we live together now and we're doing great. She's been a huge support when I needed the most. I know behind every strong man is a strong woman, and they are there to make us better. They're not there to stand in the shadows, but to boost us up and help us. And it's our job to acknowledge that and respect those people and the sacrifices they made. It's not easy dealing with men like us that have been through so much. We're trying to get used to being back home, used to dealing with things, and it's a struggle here mentally and in our family lives. Because you go through a lot of shit in prison, and you go through a lot of shit in combat. To have both of those things in your life has a huge mental effect, and you struggle when you get home. And we need people like that, strong pillars, rocks to stand on, to help boost us up, to let us know that, it's okay. And they help us, make us better. Amy Ritchie, her whole family, she's been there for us through thick and thin. We've had, Kara Castronova, Alicia Powell. These people have been writing about us, the Gateway Pundit, Alex Jones at InfoWars, Rob Dew, Darren McBreen, Owen Schroyer, people I worked with before all this. And we've had one hell of a support channel, and there's no way we could have gotten to where we are without having those relationships and those good, strong American people behind us as a backbone. So we have to remember those people that got us to where we are, that helped us. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. So thank you to them, and thank you to God. And like I said, to all you guys watching, I appreciate it. Share this far and wide. And make sure, like I said, talk to your local representatives, your Republican parties, all that, and invite us out to speak and talk. We'd love to talk and share our story. And it deserves to be heard. It's a story worth telling over and over again. And we love you all. God bless.
All right. All right. So with that, we close out the show. Thank you guys for watching this episode of the.
Yeah, pound it up your narrow ass.
What did you say?
You heard me.
End it that way.
You always interrupt me. All right.
go ahead
With that
and
we
do that.
sign off. Fuck Patty. Don't surf.
Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Peter said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
An FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are